Greetings, everyone, and welcome here again on the Fuel Sports Network here to another episode of Arena Frontier. Boy, we're getting real close into the seasons of both the Arena Football 1 and National Arena League here. We already got another week of American indoor football already under the belt. And we also did have a preseason game with the National Arena League, and believe it or not, there actually is one being played right now. That started just about a half hour ago, and it's just going to be an interesting deal here, though. Oh, wait, one more moment here. I need to do one quick little break here because looks like my notes here are in another location. Give me one moment.
Same great taste. Yes, same great taste. Same great taste.
All right, thank you for the help for me to get my notes here. So right now, as I said, there is another preseason game. We already had one. The second one right now being played is, of course, between the Belmont Renegade against the Seminoles, and we'll see how it goes. Don't know. It's not on because the only way to see the last preseason game was on the National Arena League's YouTube channel, and this one did not show any feed at the time before looking up, so it might be played on a different type of feed. So we'll see about that game about next week. So one thing I wanted to discuss before going a few of the games that happened this last weekend is, of course, remember if you caught a few episodes ago when I had Peter Schwartz, the general manager at the NAL Entertainment Football Associates Long Island, New York team. We discussed about like possible names and goals for the franchise there, and we discussed, and like I said, team names, and we know at the Nassau Coliseum where they are playing, that is where one of the historic franchises in the 2000s for the Arena Football League was the New York Dragons, and I actually like the colors, the franchise there. Of course, once again, I got into the knowing of that franchise due to the PlayStation 2 and Xbox Arena Football League games. So the announcement came last Friday, and everyone was happy when it came. And for the Long Island, New York Entertainment Football Association's arena team playing at the Nassau Coliseum, welcome back, the New York Dragons. So already, I like the logo. It's in the middle here, and I like it. It looks cool and has the right colors of black and red. And for being the last team of the four in the Entertainment Football Association, they actually have the best logo already, in my humble opinion. So it was great to see the New York Dragons come back. Peter Schwartz is happy. And let me go ahead and read the article here on the Long Island Press here. There was another article I was going to read, but for some reason that was on a paywall for some odd reason. But here we go here. New York Dragons unveiled as Arena Football League's team name. Long Island Entertainment Football Association officially had its names, colors, and logo revealed. The New York Dragons will be the fourth team to play in the Entertainment Football Association for its inaugural season this summer. The team made the announcement February 21st, last Friday, at the Nassau County and Powell headquarters in Hicksville. The team's logos and colors were announced featuring a Long Island orange, a color that the franchise says represents the region's own sunsets and vibrant community. So there was a little hint of an orange. I think that's the fire part of the logo. So black, red, and Long Island orange. The logos were designed by Winston Alfred Hamburg. This team is going to be Long Island's team, General Manager Peter Schwartz told reporters during a news conference Friday. Our head coach is going to have roots on Long Island, and he's going to pick all the players. That's usually how it goes. That's out of my hands because Peter Schwartz is going to be handling the business aspect. He's going to give all the team stuff handed to the head coach, which is yet to be announced as of now. We have 18 roster spots. I would like most, if not all, those roster spots to be players who played high school and college football on Long Island. Because for those who did miss the interview with Peter Schwartz here on Arena Frontier, he wants to have all the players to be hometown grown players in the Long Island area. I have known a few arena teams that have done this in the past, both kind of a mix, like either successful or not successful. But Long Island, New York kind of has a pretty good, let me say, pool of possible players going because I'm pretty sure you got some football players that played in the Ivy Leagues in that area because the New England area, which up there has Ivy League football players, probably definitely in Long Island. And those that want, I have to remind people that starting this upcoming college football season in the fall, the Ivy League conference has moved to the bowl division, basically what it with the Big Ten and all. So their conference has moved into all those. So that's going to be an interesting college season for 2025 for how the Ivy League conference affects things. Because I am curious about that. And I'm also excited because finally another conference to add and all that stuff. Let's go here. The Dragons will join the Danbury Diesel, the Fitchburg Heroes, and New Jersey Ciphers in the four-team league. The naming is a tribute to the last football team to play the Nassau Coliseum. The New York Dragons played in the Arena Football League from 2001 to 2008. The franchise also played as the Iowa Bronze Swords from 1995 through 2000. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how the team that used to be Kurt Warner's team when he played, getting all this stuff before getting a Super Bowl champion with the St. Louis Rams. Then they moved to New York and became the New York Dragons. So that's kind of an interesting history there. The Dragons made the playoffs 5 times but failed to win a championship. It is only fitting that Long Island's New York. Just a moment, a window just popped up. Will be called the New York Dragons. Schwartz told Statsmedia LI, I am delighted that our new team will continue the legacy and tradition of the old team. Our goal with the new Dragon is to complete the mission of the Rental franchise and hand the championship powders from the roster of the Coliseum. Schwartz was the play-by-play announcer for the Dragons during the 8 years on Long Island. He also spent time in the team's front office, something that he said readied him for his current position as general manager. Many former players and staff of the original Dragons were in attendance for the announcement Friday. The overall reaction from the fans and local business was very positive so far, and I think it's only going to take off as we continue to get closer to the start of the season, Schwartz said. The league announced in January that the franchise would be coming to Long Island with fan participation encouraged to help the team, the name the team. Schwartz comment that the organization received roughly 200 responses from fans about the team's name. The Dragons will begin training camp in May, and the team season opener is set for June 7th on the road against the Diesel. The team will play its first game at the Coliseum on June the 14th. And whoever did not edit this correctly from the Long Island Press, apparently the J is missing in June, against the Ciphers. So, as I said before, if you look at logo again, this is already the best logo in the Entertainment Football Association. And another thing, too, about the press conference that I saw, the press conference was on Instagram. It seems to me most of the stuff that Instagram used to be is supposed to be what they use the most. I have yet to see a Facebook presence for Entertainment Football Association or for any other team. So usually it's just X or Instagram. Don't see any TikTok or any other socials I have seen for the league, so that's something maybe they can work on a little bit better. But they do have a website and all that, so that's good so far. Of course, 4 teams. They're going with the similar model with the Arena League since one of the owners actually did part of the Arena League there, so it's not that difficult to figure out that part. So, just to review, like we get the New York Dragons and the other team. We're back. Sorry about connection issues there. First, of course, the Danbury Diesel. Of course, their team is with to deal with like trains and all that, though it's interesting that their mascot's a rhino and called Diesel. The heroes there. This is to me is the second best logo in my, well, it's tied for second with, of course, the New Jersey Ciphers here, because I do kind of like the owl with the colonial outfit and with the Da Vinci Code cipher and its claws there. So that, of course, as again, is a summer arena league, while we already have the American Indoor Football League doing their deal as we speak. And AF1 and National Arena League are doing their seasons here in just about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And it's exciting to see. And I wish the best of luck for Peter Schwartz and the New York Dragons, because it looks like out of the four, that might be the team that I will have kind of invested interest in, because since I had Peter on, and also I'm glad the New York Dragons is back. And also too, and I talked to Peter about this, and he said I was one of many, because this, I think out of all the franchises, this one's probably going to sell the most merch out of the whole entire Entertainment Football Association. Okay, next we're going to talk about the National Arena League here. And like the Arena Football one that announced a few weeks ago that they're going to have some of their games streaming on Evergreen Now, which is going to be available here, if I recall correctly, in just a few days on most of the platforms, including Roku. Though a little bit later, if I recall, it was either LG or Samsung with the channels that it's going to take a few more weeks in order for that to appear, so that's kind of interesting. So the National Arena League came up and said they are partners with Right Now TV. So that is actually what it's called. And here we go here. The National Arena League is proud to announce its latest partnership with Right Now TV for the 2025 season. In less than a month, as Commissioner Brandon Eckhart has worked tirelessly to position the National Arena League for success on the field for 2025. And just to remind, Brandon Eckhart just became the commissioner just a few weeks ago after the previous one resigned in order for better opportunities. Not really going to get much into that. That's what it says in the press release. And just lost my. Okay, but the latest move has now positioned the National Arena League to be successful for large scale television audience, announcing Right Now TV as the exclusive broadcast partner of the National Arena League, bringing more exposure to the National Arena League member teams, its players, and coaches. Right Now TV will broadcast a select number of National Arena League teams per week during the 2025 season, and will work hand in hand with the league on broadcasting each of its postseason games for the 2025 season. In addition, the partnership will allow the National Arena League promotions for both team and league partnership to air during programming of each game, promoting partnerships across the league to each a wider audience. Of course, ads and do all that stuff, promote stuff like that. That's to make ad revenue, so on and so forth. iCard states the partnership with Right Now TV is a game changer for the National Arena League, expanding our reach to a national television audience. It is a major step in growing the league and elevating our teams, players, and fans. We're thrilled to work alongside them to bring the electrifying action of arena football to more households than ever before. Right Now, TV is an action-packed television network that broadcasts a wide range of sports coverage across the globe. Right Now, TV not only partners with sports leagues, but streaming partners such as Roku for increased ventureship of sports 24 hours a day. The partnership will bring more eyes to the National Arena League brand and will provide Right Now TV the action-packed and over-the-walls entertainment of arena football on a weekly basis this spring. Right Now, TV is available on digital television, so over-the-air antenna, and over the streaming platforms. For a list of local channels or streaming platforms available, visit rightnowtv.com where to watch. We're thrilled to team up with National Arena League and bring the fast-paced action arena football to our viewers, said Right Now TV CEO Rob Coker. This partnership is a huge win for all of us, our network, the league, the players, coaches, and most of the fans. The National Arena League 2025 regular season debuts March 8th with 13 weeks of regular season play before the season schedule. And of course, the other games that they will broadcast will be on the National Arena League YouTube channel. So you got some choices here, because I did see that. I know St. Louis has one, but it's like 30 something, but I'm mostly going to stream it through my Roku. That seems probably a better quality, because usually those over the air, excuse me, uh, for especially those type of dot digital channels when it's like 36.2, 36.3, or something like that. It's usually in standard definition 480p or 480i. So in streaming, it might be either the same or maybe a little bit more. So I'll find it on my Roku because I think it's like on the Roku channel and probably in the free stuff. Uh, so right now, like National Arena League and Arena Football 1 starting soon, and now they got these two streaming platforms exclusively for some games, and then once again, they will also use their YouTube channels as well. And if I recall correctly, AF1, they have like not as many subscribers as National Arena League because they had to restart their YouTube channel due to the whole thing with the Arena Football League last year. Don't need to get into that whole debacle again. And National Arena League, they have about, if I remember correctly, somewhere between 15 to 20,000 subscribers. And the preseason game, there was like maybe about 3,000 views the last time I looked it up there. So it's kind of, they got some good viewership, and it's interesting how right now TV, because they're already doing another football league a little bit later here with the International Football Alliance that's happening during spring football here in the early summer as well. So with the IFA. So that's going to be kind of going there too. So far so good there. So now, before we get into some of the games that happened this week, I kind of want to go with probably be the last signings with the AF1, because now we're in training camp. We're in training camp mode now. That doesn't mean there won't be any future signings, but most likely that would be injuries. Though, after looking at some of these transactions, like after I read this, it's kind of interesting that I saw during the transaction pages here. So for signings here, we got an Oregon defensive lineman Abu Bangura, running back Parker Lapsley, Orlando offensive defensive lineman Darian Tolbert, Selena signs offensive defensive line Tyler Castle, and linebacker defensive back Kaiir Marshall, Albany defensive back Dijon Warren, Billings tight end fullback Keith Numersongo. And then Nashville signs defensive line David Gilbert and fullback linebacker Justin Cook. Washington signed wide receiver defensive back Armand Childs. And then Corpus Christi signs defensive back Dwayne Hollis. And he actually reunites with his former teammate Darius Prince, that he was also part of the Albany Firebirds defense last year. So that goes with the signs here. Going to take a little short break here. Then we'll talk about the two games that happened this last weekend. Technically, we'll call preseason. Be right back.
Houston, we've triumphed. I've made it back to Earth with the cargo intact. The game-changing, time-sensitive payload is none other than the revolutionary energy flavor we've all been waiting for. Introducing Merc Mayhem Cherry Limeade. Merc Clan played a crucial role in securing this energy flavor, and together we've unlocked the future of power. Merc Mayhem is not just a drink, it's a statement, a fusion of relentless energy and bold flavor. The secret is out. Merc Mayhem is set to redefine the energy landscape, leaving ordinary drinks in its cosmic dust. Get ready for a taste explosion that matches Merc Clan's unparalleled power. Join the revolution, and let's unleash Merc Mayhem upon the world. Astronaut M signing off.
Okay, before the two games here, like I mentioned before, when I looked at the transaction for Arena Football 1, at the tail end, there was about close to 10 players that did not report for training camp. So technically, they still have the rights to the teams that they have, but it's just weird because, once again, this isn't a new thing. This has happened before with other leagues too. Like this happened in the XFL, UFL, USFL, and like even sometimes college, if I remember a few, that there were just some players that just didn't report. So maybe they report later, some delay. I don't know. They just that failed to report, and basically it's going to give players another chance that are there a chance to make the 18-man roster for these arena teams. So I'm still perplexed as like you signed for a team, but you failed to report without mentioning, hey, you're going to be late or something like that. So it's perplexing. It really is. So when it goes to the two or the games that I saw in there, like first we'll do the preseason game here for the NAL, which is the Dallas versus the Shreveport Rubaru, the new team that's in Shreveport, Louisiana. One thing before we discuss the game is that there were some a little bit concerns, not just by me, but shared over social media for this game that well, the turf for Shreveport, uh, how should I say, it wasn't really that great, and it you could tell because it had the faded logo in the middle. It belonged to the former Wichita Force, and there were some looked like maybe some safety concerns a little bit later game sometime. So hopefully, there is a rumor that by season opener, or at least their home opener, they're going to have a new field by then. But let me be clear, rumor. So it's interesting to see how that go there. So nothing really much to say about the preseason because it just looked like a preseason game. But I will say the presentation of this game is probably so far for what I have seen this year is the best. But like I said, for presentation for a real football game, it's not really a high bar, in my humble opinion. And you had the Shreveport Rubaru getting their stuff for preseason, get ready for because the NIL season starts in 2 weeks, and they beat Dallas. If I remember, it's either Dallas Falcons or the Dallas Wings, and they beat them 55-24. It was pretty much how you see a preseason game go. But one thing that I saw, it just maybe it's because it's just preseason. Like to me, it just seemed like the reaction times on both teams seemed really slow to me. I don't know. It like like I played high school and college football before, and I know like this it goes fast, and then you just then all of a sudden when you play, sometimes just the stuff around just slows down a bit for you. So I don't know if it was that or just how the feed was. It seemed a straight feed. There was no like skipping or anything. It just seemed like it was going really slow, like with the play movement and stuff. But then again, preseason game. So Shreveport looked pretty good. There were still some mistakes. Like I said, it's a preseason game. So Shreveport once again beat Dallas 55-24, and we'll see what it goes here. There's a few preseason games left. Like I mentioned before, there's one happening right now as we speak, and one with the Baymont Renegades and the Seminoles. And now we'll go to the final talk here because it's not really that it's long of a show this evening because that's because of all the training camps and gaming recap. That's all we have for this evening. We have with the American Indoor Football League. Once again, you have Western Michigan facing against the Cedar Rapids River Kings. And of course, the Cedar Rapids River Kings was the franchise that got terminated in between seasons with the National Arena League because the owner wasn't really, what's the best way to say here, didn't really provide the best of housing for its players, and they basically got kicked out of the National Arena League, and now they're back with the relaunch American Indoor Football League because it's still confusing because the American Indoor Football League actually merged with the National Arena League to what it is now, minus the two teams that went defunct recently, as if you watch the past episodes here. So it's still kind of interesting because right now it's just like one game a week, then it seems like it's going to be more. And right now, because I'm still perplexed with like if you go on Facebook, because it's so far they've only been showing stuff on Facebook, nothing on X or Instagram. It's kind of interesting with these arena leagues. They either strictly go strong on one of the social platforms and not spread around like the other ones, because UFL does it, I believe IFA does it, and of course the other sports league they go Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. So it's perplexing why they don't use all of them. Like some you have to pay, some you do not. So I'm a little confused with that. And uh Western Michigan against Cedar Rapids River Kings. It's the only thing I could say is basically as of right now in the AIF, it's basically West Michigan Ironman's league for them to win or lose because Cedar Rapids River Kings didn't really put up much of a fight. Western Michigan beats them 55-0. Yeah, you heard me. 55-0. And Cedar Rapids, like, they have a big offensive line, but their running back, it's more, well, sorry, fullback actually is more of a lineman than an actual fullback. So it's not really in between, like, hybrid lineman running back type deal, but it's just like they were just really slow and it just didn't look good. And it just like even Western Michigan, like they had some kicking problems with extra points, so they mostly went for two. And like I will say though, Western Michigan Ironman's gaming presentation when it comes to games is top notch. Because, like I say, the presentation for the Shreveport game and for the excuse me, West Michigan Ironman is like night and day. One actually had graphics with the score and stuff. The other one did not. And just a reminder, because still don't know why they just don't say where it's being broadcast for the West Michigan Ironman game. It's on the KLLB Media YouTube page. Only has about 200 subscribers, and they usually say, here's the link for it on Facebook, and even the AIF Facebook would say link will be posted soon, though it was never posted. I actually had to search and just subscribe to that page so to get future games in the future. And another thing, too, for both leagues, even though it's preseason, I can understand they didn't post any stats for the game, and I haven't seen any articles about, so I wanted to get a little more in depth of it. Couldn't find any. Though with Western Michigan, the first game, it actually had an article. It actually had stats and stuff off by Tuesday that I had for last week's show. This week, nothing. I'm still perplexed about that. Like, you want people to keep track, like, player stats here, but uh, not my. It's not how I would do it, but when in Rome, I guess. And like I said, this game, like Cedar Rapids, River Kings, just like it didn't look good. And then the other franchise, as I said, that the West Michigan played the with the chaos they got, and how fitting for that name because it is chaotic since they fired their head coach, hired a new one, and then once again I have to mention this that in between for that game against the West Michigan Ironman, they lost their center. He died. It doesn't say how he died, if it's medical, car accident, or anything like that. There's has been no confirmation on how, and honestly, we really shouldn't know about what it was. It's just that he died, and of course, team morale got hit pretty low. And honestly, if I was doing a ranking, West Michigan Ironman would be one, the Cornville Chaos number two, and then Cedar Rapids River Kings dead last. And it's still weird that they're doing a three team league, but having visiting teams because AIF only has one game, and once again, it's the West Michigan Ironmen, and they face a out-of-league team with the Detroit Ravens once again at their place. So West Michigan Ironman has three straight home games, and honestly, I think I read something that maybe West Michigan only is the only with the arena. If that's true, that's like, really? Really? But I digress. So that's kind of it for this edition of Arena Frontier. And we're getting real close. And hopefully, I'm planning to have a guest next week's show because then we're going to actually have a few, like, talk about, do some previews for games coming up. Because after this weekend, the following weekend, we actually have regular season with Arena Ball with AF1 and National Arena League. And if I remember correctly, like it might be a mistake. The first Arena Football 1 game, I believe, is actually not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. Then there's going to be a Monday game, so they're only going to have two games, and it's going to be their initial week 0 for Arena Football 1. And then a few, like, they only have a few games with National Arena League because, dear Lord, National Arena League had to, well, along with the AF1, of course, with the teams that back out or either got kicked out have been changed about 2 times already. And then by then I should have a little bit more information of like where to get like with the TV broadcasting partners, Evergreen now, and then Right Stuff TV for National Real League. So it's going to be quite exciting here because after AF1 and National Real League, we got the Indoor Football League coming, and most of that's usually on YouTube with them. And you usually get their local TV broadcasted on YouTube for those games. So that's going to be exciting. And then once again, you're going to have the Real League starting a bit close to late spring, early summer, and then a little bit after that, the new Entertainment Football Association. As I said earlier, with the New York Dragons, the Dansbury Diesel, the New York Ciphers, and of course the Heroes. So exciting time. Can't wait for it to get a little bit more and be glad to actually see some stats for some games for once and predict like how it's going to go because probably if I had to think for the IFL, even though they were supposed to win it in the Green Bay Blizzard, we'll see if they try to redeem themselves and actually try to win it this year. And of course, for Arena Football One, does Billings try to repeat after they won the Arena Football One League, then before going to AF1 last year? Of course, as of right now, I would say Corpus Christi, Albany, and a few other might give them the run for money, including one of the newer ones with the Arizona Bandits. So it's going to be just hectic and also fun. So thank you for joining me here on Arena Frontier Forest Fields Network. And a reminder too, we're having some good, interesting new content coming for Field Sports Network. So stay tuned with that. Thank you for joining us and see you guys next week.